So we are actually a multi-site church, Grace Church. Our senior pastors are Scott Jones and Brett Jones. And so we have 4 campuses. One is in the Humble area, and then we have, of course, the campus here at Garden Oaks, and then we have a campus in Tomball and at Liberty. And all of our campuses were open today. And we also have an online service. So we are directing those people who are elderly or who may have underlying health issues to that venue as well. Also to each campus will be probably live streaming, so each campus can get their own expression of their own church, but we are really championing our live stream from our Humble campus as our main outreach through all this time. Kind of the other thing too is that we've already reached out to several of the local like grocery stores. I mean, as far as what we might do in the community, in just seeing if we could deliver groceries for the elderly who might have ordered them but yet don't want to get out and actually pick them up. So we've talked to several, HEB being one of those, and currently they're saying even now that they're not utilizing that, but they'll let us know. So we're also communicating with several food banks as well to offer that same service. And then as well, we're reaching out to all of the elderly and those that we do know in our membership that do have an underlying health issue. We're in constant communication with them to see if we can meet any of their needs as well. So for those people that are probably going to be housebound for a period of time, we're really communicating, email, text, phone call, that kind of a thing, and seeing what kind of services we can offer. And I know also too that our church as a whole, not just campuses, but also our church as a whole, we actually have a ministry. It's called Dream Center Houston, and basically we minister to various parts of Houston. And so we're also looking through that entity of grace. It's kind of like our missions arm, but it's locally what we can do for the community in that regard as well. We get more information from the city, county, state officials, kind of on some things we can do, then we'll be very happy to do that. We see this not only as an opportunity to continue sharing the gospel, but also to share help and service in any way we can, because so many people are going to need different things, and so we're going to try to do our best to identify those needs and fill them.
I have seen that there are sanitation points, different places within the church today, and your congregants have been using them. That's been beautiful. That's been part of what the leadership of the city has been saying, especially for those who are going to be open today like you did. What was it in your message or sermon related to content that had anything to do with COVID-19?
Sure. But the entire sermon itself was related to the actual COVID-19. We're actually in the midst of a sermon series, but we canceled that series to speak directly to this particular need because it's on the hearts and minds of people. So we wanted to be relevant and to address the emotional and the spiritual and physical needs of this, and to reassure people that even though this is a difficult time, it will pass. So we're speaking to that spiritual and also the emotional side through the sermon itself. But what we've done is actually, as a church, all 4 of our campuses, we have communicated via text, via email, also in the pulpit as well, what we're doing as a church to not only reassure people, but also to make sure that everyone is practicing, honestly, the best possible health practices we can. It's the standard things that we're seeing, that we have the sanitation, hand sanitizer stations. When people come in, we encourage them to use that. When they exit, we encourage them to use that. All of our hard surfaces are disinfected before and after every service. All the door handles are disinfected. Our greeters aren't greeting people. They're not shaking their hands as typically they would. We're just smiling and waving, and kind of just setting that example so that everybody's kind of understanding what that social distancing looks like. And so we're promoting that through the stage when we're speaking in the sermon, through our announcements, also through our texting and through our communication via email and social media channels as well, kind of what we're doing. So number 1 is to reassure people, but number 2, and even more importantly, to make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to do, to make sure that we're having a safe gathering and just creating those good practices to keep people as well as much as possible.